Listen, thanks a lot for participating with BayouBuzz.com. I'm a great fan of your product. I really am. So, if you don't mind, why don't you tell us what does your Facebook Connect product do? It is probably a Joomla product, also K2. But what exactly does it do?
I mean, the elevator pitch with it is basically it integrates social networking into your website. Initially, it started as a way just to authenticate and let users log in, and at that point, it was only for Facebook. But nowadays, you can let users log in and register using Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Google, and there's more coming on the way. And with that, you can import some profile information, so they already have an avatar and a cover photo on your site, and it's a way for a user to access your site quickly without having to go through 30 forms, come up with a new password and a username and all these things that they don't want to have to do just to engage with your site and get in there and be a part of your website and your community. There's a lot of other features for deeper integration where you can actually post back to their Facebook wall or post to Twitter for them and do different things like that. But the main thing is just letting the user access and engage in your site in a much more quick fashion and feel like a part of your community quicker than they would otherwise.
What do you think is the most important feature that is, in terms of social media, that you really believe is something that everybody needs to have on their site?
I mean, I think just the authentication is the most important thing everyone can have, especially if you're running any sort of e-commerce type site. If you're selling anything, the whole purpose of e-commerce is to get a person to see a product and be able to buy it with as few steps as possible. And once you put up a registration form that asks for their name, their address, gender, all these things, and at creating a username and a password on your site, which they're not going to remember 2 months later, you just put up a wall that is going to take away 20% of your conversions at least. By you letting them register using Facebook or any of those other social networks, it's one click, they know their credentials when they return, and they don't have to fill out 90% of the information that you normally ask from your other users. So, I mean, whether e-commerce, you're selling something, or commerce as far as advertising and you want user engagement, those types of things, authentication is the most important thing you can put on your site, and that's what we've focused on for 5 years now.
Yeah, no, that feature has really become, I mean, you see it a lot now. It's rather ubiquitous now, but a year ago it was not.
Sure, and that's why it's catching on. I mean, our first release of our product was in 2009 when Facebook wasn't even as popular as it is. I mean, It wasn't even nearly as well known in half the population. So we've definitely grown up with it, and there's been a lot of teething issues along the way. But I mean, we realized early on that it was going to be growing into what it was, or at least social networking in general. And we've been excited to be along for the ride the whole time. Sorry, my email's making.
No problem. One last question, and that is, in terms of who can use your product? Is it anybody with a website? Is it?
So right now we only cater to the Joomla CMS, which is a PHP-based content management system. It works on almost any hosting account out there, but you do need to have Joomla installed. Once you have Joomla installed, then we work with the most popular extensions out there. Obviously, we integrate with Joomla itself for content and articles and those types of things, but we also integrate with Jom Social and Easy Social and K2, which is another content extension. Sure. Easy Blog, and about a dozen other of the most popular extensions out there for deeper integration. We work with all extensions, but we have some deeper integration with a select few of about a dozen.
Right, and so the really great thing about that is that if you decide to use those particular extensions, basically, since they're integrated, a visitor is able to go to, say, your site and would be able to therefore go and use Jom Social or Kanina or whatever the other features or extensions that you're referring to.
Sure, and for things like Jom Social, again, getting more audience to your site is always very important. And so for things like Jom Social as one example, when a user, if they log in using Facebook and then they go to their Jom Social albums, their photo albums, and upload a photo, it can automatically post to Facebook that they uploaded an image to your site with a link to the image and whatever caption they put in there. It's automatic. There's not a checkbox or anything like that. and so it's automatically pushed to the user's Facebook account, which immediately draws in their friends' attention, which then increases user engagement and spreads the word organically about your site. It's free, and it's just an easy thing to do. So it's one of those things where not only then do those users have an easier way to access the site, but hopefully they go out and start promoting your site more too.
So actually, this is my last question. On the 25th anniversary of the World Wide Web today, where are we going to be in 25 years?
I have no idea. I mean, I can't even tell you.
What next year is going to be, right?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you what next year is going to be. I certainly couldn't have told you 5 years ago when we started working with social networkings, which, you know, MySpace was not dominant at that point, but it was sort of up in the air who was going to be the winner. It's impossible to guess what's going to be happening in 5 years or certainly 25 years. Sure. Hopefully I'll still be around and having fun working with it at that point.
Thanks a lot. Listen, I really appreciate it.